Hi everybody, have you ever heard the phrase that you learn something new every day? Well, I wanted to put that to the test and see what I learned every day, so I started taking notes on my phone to see if I would learn something new and what I learned, and it actually turned out I did learn something new every day. Most of the time, they were just little things that I didn't think were that important for other people to know about or that weren't important for other people's lives. For instance, maybe something in my own life where I learned about somebody else or about who I was with or about my job, and it wouldn't really help anybody else. So I tried to stick to things that when I was writing about things I thought would help my listeners, you guys. Hi. You see? Of course you can see me. And but I can't see you. That's so sad. So yeah, if you learned anything new, please post in the comments below. I only went for a couple of weeks doing this, and sometimes I forgot, and I had a hard time trying to remember the day before and the things that I learned or the things that I did, because it seems like, wow, we might learn something new every day. We also forget something new every day. So I'm just going to go through my first week with you of some things I felt like I learned. When I say felt like, because sometimes we think we learned something, but we actually need more learning, or we learn it a little bit wrong, or it's not, the full knowledge of that thing. Anyways, so I started in February of 2021, and here we go. On Saturday, I said, granola isn't actually that hard to make. You just have a few basic ingredients that you bake for a while to make crispy. And you can add a variety of different things to that to change the flavor. Well, that's cool. Granola is not actually that hard to make. You should try making it. I also put water gets put into your home heating system to keep the humidity at a good level. Too much humidity will show up on your windows. I guess I just hadn't thought about that before. And sometimes a recipe on the bag isn't the best to use. I had made some cookies and they didn't turn out good, but I used the exact recipe on the back of the bag when there probably was a better recipe online for those cookies or for different cookies. Alright, on Sunday, the 21st of February, I said, I don't seem to like the most famous pastors, the ones you first find on YouTube or have really big congregations. Usually they lack the spiritual food I need. They don't help me focus on Jesus or read the Bible enough myself to see through the hype. So maybe I have to read the Bible enough myself to see through the hype of those pastors. And I learned more that usually they're the first ones you find on YouTube because they had the most views. It doesn't always mean they're the best ones. Alright. Monday, the 22nd. With technology, the way things are taught now are very different than they used to be. For example, spelling and grammar isn't really focused on that much because it's not as needed. They have the computers to help them with spelling and grammar. What's more focused on is concepts. For instance, when I was talking to an English teacher, she was saying they focus on the concepts of English and kind of your own opinions and things like that. And then I wrote, about 10 years ago, they started teaching some Asian history in schools here in America, like the history of China. So that was 10 years ago, and that's about the time I graduated. So about a little bit after I graduated, apparently they started teaching a little bit of Asian history in schools in Wisconsin here. I'm not sure about other schools in America, but at least that's what I heard from a teacher here. I thought that was really interesting. The next day, on Tuesday, I wrote, zucchini fritters reminded me a lot of Japanese cabbage pancake I had made before. It seems like using vegetables with a few more ingredients and frying them is pretty good and more common than I thought. I also wrote, 1 of 10 people is left-handed, and you can treat each cooking time like an adventure because with what you are making, you can tweak a part of it to see if it makes it better or worse. And I think that's really interesting about cooking, which I didn't think of before, is that it does take a while compared to just buying food to make your own food, but when you're making it, you can always make enough and then kind of use a part of it to, make it a little bit different, and you can learn a lot from that. So, and then I wrote, people might say, why would God put the tree in the Garden of Eden if they weren't supposed to eat it? Well, also, why did he send his son, that whoever eats of him has true life back? So I was just kind of interested in, maybe some people would think that, but then other people could at the same time think, why would he send his son then to just freely give it back? So it kind of goes back and forth. Gasoline goes bad over time. I didn't know that. Thursday, sorry, I didn't tell you, but some of those were on Wednesday. Alright, Thursday, microphones can easily pick up mouth noises you make. So I have to be careful when I'm talking not to go like this too much. Alright, another thing I learned was single-use plastics are flawed by design. They use a material made to last forever to produce items designed to be thrown away. So that's causing a lot of trash buildup in the world by the type of packaging we use. Alright, and then on Friday, I learned about that Facebook's algorithm has been changing over the years, and some say at times the algorithm has caused more negative effects like political polarization. It takes a lot of effort to just keep one eye open without closing both or opening both. So I think I went like this, and I was just seeing how long I could do that, and I thought it took a lot of effort just to keep one eye open. It's easier to do two eyes open, but if you just do one eye, it's actually harder to just do one than both. Alright, and then I wrote, cooking asparagus in a pan with butter and garlic and a good amount of lemon juice is so good. So apparently I was cooking at that time in my life. And now we're back to Saturday, so that's a whole more than a week now that this would be technically the 8th day. So I learned that women's pants size is men's pants size in half, which I did not know that before. And yeah, so that was 1 week's worth of stuff. I do have some more things, but I'm just going to leave that because I tried just for 1 week. What did I learn that week? And let me know what you thought about this video, or if you watched the whole thing. Thank you. Yeah, so anything that you learned today, please post in the comments, and if you like this idea, please tell me, so I might try to remember more of what I learned in the future. So thanks and goodbye.